You can't help idiots. You can't help idiots. You can't help fools. You can't help people that are full of pride. You can't help people who are extremely selfish. And for the sake of this video, we just will say you can't help idiots. Now, are you an idiot? And if that offends you, you probably are. If you've never gotten to the point in your life, at least one time, but if you're truly growing multiple times throughout your life, you will own up to the fact that you're an idiot. Just let that sink in a little bit while I get my reflection moment cigar smoking pipe ready. That you are an idiot. Now, if you're not an idiot, you still don't get offended. But fools get offended. And I will use the term idiot and fool interchangeably. Idiot is more gut-wrenching, more hard-hitting than the term fool in our modern-day vernacular. And that's another series I'll be working on, the types of fools in the Bible. But if you get offended at the very thought that you might be an idiot, that's a good sign that you are. Now, no matter who we are, that's hard to do. I'm going to pause this. No matter who you are at some point in time, if you're growing at all, you've owned up to the fact that you're a fool. So we're not going to dive deep into that. And you may not be willing to admit that at this time, but hopefully you have at least some sort of realization that you're a fool. Some other words that might be more easier to digest. These are all negative character traits we deal with in Faithful Man. That all men at some level, when they've hit rock bottom or they've gone through some sort of trauma or devastation and hard reality in their life, have to own up to several of these, if not all. So, you're a liar at some level. You are a selfish man at some level. You are a prideful man. You're a lazy man. You're a carnal, fleshly, lustful man. You're a manipulative man. You're an emotionally unstable man. You're a weak man. You're a scared man. And if you can own up to those things, we can help you. We've got programs built around all these concepts. And you can reach out, direct message, comment, whatever, 970-404-7165 or faithfulman513@gmail. But the one that you cannot help is the fool. He may be one or all of the other things. You may be one or all of the other things. But if you let go of being foolish, at some level, we can deal with those other issues. But a fool, you cannot deal with a fool. There's nothing you can say to a fool. They won't take any kind of criticism. They're never wrong. They're always right. Their opinion is fact. They know so much about everything, and you know very little. And you just can't. You can't work with that. And the Bible's clear that you can't work with that. And the Bible's clear at some level that God don't even want you to try. We're going to try this again without turning it off, so you can laugh at me try to start my pipe. Did it again. I waited too long. We're going to try one more time. One more time. One more time. Success. So we deal with liars. You're lying about something. You're lying to yourself, about yourself. You're lying to your wife. You're lying to your children. You're lying to your boss. But you might be a liar. We deal with men that are full of themselves. Pride, anger. These are all issues that real men deal with or don't deal with. And we're wreaking havoc on our families because we're not dealing with them properly. I'm using the match because my lighter is out. So we're just going to stop it for now. But the Bible is very clear, if I remember correctly. I haven't looked at it specifically for a while. 7 types of fools in the Bible. And in most cases, I'm just going to throw a number out there 90% of the time, we just don't deal with it. And a couple of the verses in Proverbs, back to back say, hey, if you're going to deal with a fool, deal with them this way. The next verse is, don't even deal with them. It comes from the voice of experience. The voice of experience. I was very prideful, angry, selfish, lazy, lying, hypocritical man. And hallelujah, hallelujah, holla flippin' stinkin' hallelujah. I'm not that man anymore. Still a carrier, but overall that is not who I am anymore. And I went through a process. Just me and the Lord, all alone, still all alone in this wilderness, teaching me lessons. Forcing me to deal with myself. And by His grace, me having a willingness to let Him do the work. It turned into our mothership program, 10 steps to what I call emotional stability. Whatever trauma, whatever kick in the nuts you received, whatever rug was pulled out from underneath you, whatever knocked the wind out of your sails, there is a way out. Whatever pit you're in, there is a way out. But if you're a fool and you've watched this far, that's a plus. But if you're not hearing anything I'm saying, you're probably one, probably need our help. So call us 970-404-7165 or text. Say you're interested in a call. We'll jump on a free consultation call with you. See where you are. What we can do to help. Definitely know we can help you. We try to cater. We can't cater to everybody. We're not trying to reach everybody. When we try to do that, we reach nobody. But I do try to cater because of my journey, my 11-year journey thus far. I've hit that wall often in interested in a program, interested in something I need, but it just was too expensive. At the same time, the more I invested in the smaller programs, the more the Lord would let me invest in larger programs, and He would bring me some finances to allow me to do that. And because I have invested many hours, and not a whole lot, but a few $1,000s into my own growth, and God bringing me through the valley and still training me, and led me to do our mothership program and other ways that we can help. We'll just put it out there for you. But a fool won't see any need in investing any time or money. A fool will think that, oh, well, if it's from the Bible, you're not supposed to charge for it. It's all these silly notions that people have, when the deep down issue is you don't want to deal with yourself and you're making excuses. But I do try to help guys that are in a position where they can't afford a whole lot, but they want help. And so we've got everything that runs from currently from $150 to $5,000. And it'll help you. And if you're on the verge of divorce, which was what wrecked my world, and I'm still divorced and still single, if you get in soon enough, there's an 80% chance, especially if she's still in the home and she's not left, there's at least an 80% chance that you'll restore your marriage and you'll bring your wife back. And if she's not too far gone out of the house, there's still a chance you can win your wife back. And there's still a chance that your wife's been gone for several years and you can still win her back. But we don't guarantee that. What we do guarantee is that you will become a man you love to see when you look in the mirror. So if you're interested in some transformation, give us a call, comment, or email us at faithfulman513@gmail.com. keep your eyes on him.